Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in joining our community and helping us push a little further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. If you're interested in joining any of our games, we do have open slots available. One currently in this game, and a couple in a Friday early game, and now one in the Friday evening game. All you have to do is be sure to reach out to me and let me know you're interested, and we'll try to get you on a one-on-one to see if we can't get you situated. But I believe that's going to be everything from me. Go ahead, Samdi. Tell us what happened last session.
Last session, Jerome, our formerly, 13-fingered?
Yep.
Friend, essentially told us to go to the slightly higher end, but not too high end part of the tournament attendees to try and pickpocket some extra dough out of them. Besides that, we entered a bar. I don't know what for exactly. It's been 2 weeks, I think.
You're supposed to commit a heist.
The lore's posted.
Yeah, you can just read in that channel that...
Yeah, but we suddenly went from tournament and then... Oh, okay, yeah. We needed to go to a bar because they were having suspicious deep cleaning at midnight, where we thought they were going to transport something valuable. To try and get in there, we first ingratiate ourselves to the bartenders. Some people played darts, some people just drink at the bar. Eventually, Kat decides to try and get the bartender to get the shit beaten out of him. That is the effective way of it. So that when the bartender leaves, we can get not a polymorph. There's another seeming. Is it seeming? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We get a seeming Jerome to pass as the bartender and go into the back rooms. To try and get this situation expedited, Samdi proceeds to sick Gabriel on him under the guise of, oh look, he's flirting with the princess who clearly doesn't like it. He is so blind. This starts with a bit of a scuffle between Bart and Gabriel. Bart being in on the plan, Gabriel not being in on the plan. Which leads to a individual in the corner who seems like a bouncery type to slash the back of Bart after giving him one warning and ensuing a fight. In the midst of the fight, he starts summoning oozes and oobleck. Is that the word? Ooblecks? Anyway. After a long fight, Kat decides to say fuck this and fireballs the place, which is not the best idea for a place filled with booze. But turns out the ooblecks are afraid of the fire, and so they GTFO. Bart manages to persuade one of them or intimidate one of them to go with him instead of fleeing, and Jerome, who's been in the back this entire time trying to lockpick one thing, eventually manages to get it while Kat is looking over him, readying a dimension door to get the fuck out of there. Unfortunately, Bart has been very slightly paralyzed due to an unfortunate cocaine accident, i.e. a haste. And Samdi floats him out of there, sitting in a barrel, like a little weirdo. And I believe that's about where he left off as soon as we fled the area.
So, you all left the crime scene with hopefully what is the lockbox with the gold that was brought in here for all of you to smuggle out of there. You flee from the burning down tavern Bart with a new stray cat on his person. And the rest of you looking over your shoulders, making sure you're not seen leaving the scene of this crime. What is it you all would like to do?
Room at the inn rented.
What?
Do we still have a room at the inn rented? The one that we'd been at?
You could rent it another night,
Okay.
or attempt to.
Yes, as we go, I want to cast Seeming on everyone. So we just look like,
Not
Random.
half-lists.
random NPCs.
Alrighty. So you make your way back over to that original inn you all had spent the evening in previously. When you get there, are you all like beelining it towards that inn, or what are you doing?
With
I would think so.
with Seeming, I think that we could take our time, but we're heading directly there.
Okay. By the time you get there, they only have a couple of rooms still available. With the burning down of a different tavern tonight, the people who are visiting for the fight this weekend are being forced to find shelter very, very quickly. So,
Oh no! How unfortunate.
Yes.
Maybe we can blame the arson on the other bar owner.
So, you can only rent 3 rooms, and the prices are jacked up. 10 gold a room for the night. And you're going to have to compact all 6 of you into those rooms.
That'll cover it, because...
Should we set fire to the bar?
Yeah. That's 2 a room, it's not bad.
Yeah, we can do.
Right. What do you... And I'm get, as we pay for it, I guess we're going back to one room to kind of plan for the next day. Have we decided on what our strategy will be for the tournament?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not used to tournaments as a spectator. Normally, we're trying to take part or cheat or something. Actually, just watching and networking is kind of outside of my normal comfort zone, but I'm sure we will manage.
Right.
Jerome
Please.
clears his throat a little bit. Guys, can I get my part of the cut?
Absolutely. We made off with 10k and his was what?
Well, he said he'll help you guys steal whatever you want, but you need to get him the 15k he has to pay on his brother's debts immediately.
And we got 10, so, So my vote is he gets an earring with everyone. My vote is he gets the stack for tonight.
Yeah, we're pretty good for money. Well, most of us. On our way out, would we have been able to pick anything off this, douchebag hunter that tried to hack my spine open?
All of you were in a pretty big hurry. I don't recall any of you investigating the bodies while you were inside of the tavern.
That is fair. What a
Remember,
bitch.
everything was
Also-
on fire.
Yeah. Also, Bart was a bit paralyzed by the tail end of that.
So he'll take his 10,000, or he'll take the 10,000 and slip it away into his backpack somewhere. He seems to be burying it very specifically to make sure, you wouldn't be able to just cut a hole in the bottom of the bag or to stick your hand through the top of it without disturbing too many things in order for him to notice. And then after he puts it in the backpack, he puts his cloak over top of the backpack as well, straps it tight to his back, and then ties the end of the cloak together so there's no easy entry points into it.
Well done. So, that leaves what? How much for you to finish out your debts?
I need another 5,000.
That's not so bad.
4 more days.
So do we try to use the tournament to make opportunities, or do we use it as an opportunity?
He looks at all of you. Hey, I found this mark tonight. I can't do everything for you.
I'm not only asking you.
Yeah, and I know that Glenn and I would like to watch the festivities that are coming up with the combat. It'd be very entertaining to watch. But while we're there, maybe we can scope someone out. And I think we also talked about that a lot of people are going to be there. Their homes might be less guarded.
I do remember that, yes.
I was a bit concerned about going into a magically monitored area, i.e. the tournament, because I don't think I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not exactly the sneakiest. I could probably talk to somebody, but look at me. What am I supposed to talk about? My import of faux crocodile leather?
That's a good point. I don't think that the tournament itself, I think that what we're saying is that we're not looking to do any sort of action at the tournament, but to get an idea of who's there, what the social structure is, to see who could be leaving other things vulnerable. There's always the chance of seeing visiting people, and when they leave, and they're outside the city.
That also brings the timeline up, because how long does the tournament last again?
Yeah, I was about
Just
to say.
one day.
About a 4-hour long event. The fight goes for about 10 minutes at most, but it's all the setting up, the gathering, the pre-bets, things like that.
At least we don't have to make all of our decisions now. We can see what we can find when we are there as well. Like if we see that there are a lot of people visiting and they seem to be wanting to leave quickly, we could always make use of that as they leave the city. Or we could see, like, oh, this person has left their house, and we could take advantage of that. Or, someone might win big, and we could follow them home.
I like that.
It's too bad we don't have a way to find our mark at the game and then somehow be able to appear at their house while they're still at the game. You know, kind of like how back in the old day I'd walk from one realm to another, one plane to another, and all that. Would have been nice if we could have been at the game, found a mark, popped on over to their house, you know, magic like, take care of it, and then go back to the game. But I don't have any way to help us do that anymore.
Right, and unfortunately, that is not something that I have access to at right now either.
Damn it, Jess! Why don't you have a 7th level spell? I'm kidding.
Right. I'm almost there.
Almost, not quite. No, I'm gonna look at your room and I'm going to say, once you're in there, you're kind of locked in there, aren't you?
I mean,
Like,
more or less. There's not going to be a lot of people outside, so you're going to be easily noticed if you get in there and then leave. People take note of that, especially if you don't have, you know, a reason.
That makes sense.
Hmm. The best I can come up with is one of us stays over, contacts us through me to find a mark. I can contact them anywhere within 5 miles of it. So if someone, for example, maybe, God, I forgot his name. It's been 2 weeks.
Gabriel? Or Jerome?
Glenn.
Gabriel, Jerome, Glenn. Find somebody winning big. I could contact them, say, hey, found somebody. They say, oh, hey, this is his name. I talked to him. He's drunk as a fucking skunk. And he says he lives here-ish. And we're like, oh, okay then. Let's go over there, rob his store blind and whatnot.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. And this goes back to, I think Bart mentioned it. Someone mentioned following them home. Yeah, I think we stay at the tournament, get some 10 minutes of good excitement in. You know, watching them beat things, and then we can.
Well, that's going to be the end of the entire event.
Oh, it's the best part.
So you're going to be there until the end?
Well, I'm kind of thinking, and then we can find our mark and find
Use
out.
the crowds to follow him.
Yeah, find out who the big winner is. Now, they will be on their guard, so I don't know if we take them out that night. But
And anyone who wins big gets personally escorted back to wherever they're going. And
Yeah, we just
usually
have
they
to
can afford the biggest and best guards to guard them as well.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying we don't necessarily jump them on the way home. We don't take them that night because that's what they're going to expect. But, you know, Kat has a friend here that could maybe follow them or something, and we can be a street over, find out where they live, and then the day after that is when we strike.
And we don't have to, I mean, like I said, you know, these are good ideas to have. But deciding that we're not going to act at the tournament itself, only observe and look for opportunities, I think that is a good start.
I think it's a great start.
And then we can be flexible as to what we do after.
Yeah, we already have tournament tickets. We could bet there as well if we just show up a bit before tournament start.
Yeah.
And place a bet. Is there a time limit on how shortly before the fight starts before you can bet?
I don't know, but if we see anyone with their father bringing them a bowl of food while we're there, we should take them out right away.
You're jealous that I've got homemade crisps, motherfucker.
I am totally jealous.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. It's like, is that a movie reference?
No, I just they look wonderful, and I saw them being brought in. I'm
You
like,
got
oh,
jealous.
No, I'm hungry. Fuck.
I'm in my blankie and I have my homemade crispies. God,
Perfect life.
27 and I own a home, but fuck, this is good.
Like, oh, I agree, Monkey, that if we see someone who is that pampered, they probably do have too much money for their own good, and we should absolutely target them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought I was the fucking bastard. All right. Stupid jokes aside,
Yes.
I did technically ask Jerome about if there's a time limit before betting starts.
Betting starts as soon as the stadium opens up. You can be there 6 hours early, 4 hours early, whenever you want. If you want, I can scope out the area early, see if any big swingers come by, but all of the private betting happens inside of the private sector, so...
And
I don't think we got a ticket into that, right?
no, I think we did our own admission. The private sector, though, that, I know that, and you may not know the answer to this, but there's guards against magical interference in the fight itself, and so I'm assuming that there are wards and such in the actual, like, fighting ring.
Spalding has spared no expenses to hire the most powerful mages to ward anything they could.
So, getting say, an arcane eye into that private betting is not going to be...
I don't know what that is.
I summon
Magic
an invisible eyeball.
I mean... I don't know how magic really works.
I guess more the question is... Yes, they're protecting against interference in the game, but do they have wards and protections in the rest of it?
Yeah, of
as
course
well?
they do.
Spared no expense.
Yeah.
I swear if I don't see a if I don't see a fat bearded Spalding with a cane that has an amber in it, I am going to be pissed.
I do have an idea.
That guy's wholesome. He couldn't be a Spalding.
I do have an idea.
There are some
Richard
good
Attenborough.
Spaldings.
You don't want to make him a Spalding.
Yeah,
Hey.
we like him. What's your idea?
So, do we think that perhaps Tree could get into that private betting? If he is a Spalding.
Other
If he
player characters?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was muted.
Coming stuck. I think that is actually a pretty damn good point. If we want to get into the more exclusive places, then having a Spalding on our side might be of help. Although, if they are trying to maintain a lower profile to avoid detection, if our suspicions about them are correct, then they may not want to be interacting with actual Spaldings.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Yes.
But
Worth an ask, though.
absolutely, I do have Sending still left, so I can always ask. And my question is, so because Osby will not stop investigating him, and we're bound to continue to investigate and try to stop him. If it comes down to it, we could offer the person sponsoring the investigation in return for the favor.
I like this. This is all sounding like good options.
All right.
Sorry,
so
I was looking at something else.
Right, let me see if he's still awake. And I will cast Sending to Tree.
Alrighty. Tell us what you were saying.
Tree, this is Catherine. I wanted to know if you were attending the tournament tomorrow, and if you would how to say this? Check in on something for us.
He'll reply, yes, I will be betting tomorrow. I'll be conducting some more private gambling while there. What were you looking for? Any clues as to why that individual is stalking me?
Another Sending. I was hoping to get an insight on the private betting. And we know the person sponsoring the investigation. Want to trade?
I'll gladly accept you as my +1 tomorrow. Meet me outside the arena at noon.
Arena at last Sending. Burn all my third levels. That sounds perfect. Now, what would be considered appropriate dress for the private betting?
Day wear.
Excellent. So Cat turns to everyone else. Well, I have an end to the private betting, and as 3 is +1, so I can relay any sort of information from that.
That sounds good. And then I'm going to look over at. Is Gavriel still with us?
Yeah.
I'm going to look over at Gavriel and Bart and see if they have any reaction to her going on a date.
Gavriel seems to be just as himbo ever is. Bart?
Just remember to keep in touch. We already know that we don't trust him, so try to keep yourself out of trouble.
I'll do what I can.
Alrighty. So. You all have a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome is going to excuse himself. Everyone else?
Yeah, I think the game plan for Monkey and Glenn is while we're there, if we can, we're going to try to seek out learn more about the fighters that are in the tournament and their sponsors.
Okay.
Just because we're both interested in the combat thing, I think that's
Yeah, I
and it
know.
might
You
give us
guys
some
want to
other-
do the tournament one day. Okay.
yeah, and I think we might also be able to get some information for later on it. But that's what Glenn and I will be doing at the tournament.
Alrighty. Bart? Samdi?
I suppose we should keep an eye on them, but Sandy, you have any thoughts? Good. We shall keep an eye on Monkey and make sure he does not kill anyone by accident.
Alrighty then.
Fuck, I've been muted.
There you are.
Okay, the only thing of note I said was, and here I thought you were going to say that about me. Kill anyone on accident. To be fair,
It's
it was an
intentional.
accident.
Yeah. Yeah, but somebody kills on purpose. And I will be gathering information from the private betting, and then do you want to say that we should meet up? So it's a 4-hour event. If I'm getting there at noon, does the fight start at 4?
The fight should be starting around 2.
Around 2. So what we can plan on doing is I gather information for an hour on the betting, come back, let you guys know so that you can take, your bets as well, and gather as much information and targets and that sort of thing as we can. So, before we do get into our long rest, I would like to do one thing though, Joey.
Yeah?
I'm gonna take Gabriel aside. And, just tell him, like, I'm
Let
sorry
us
that...
rest. And kill him.
I'm sorry that you got caught up in the facade earlier. It was a ruse just to have some sort of distraction, and I'm sorry that you got caught up in the middle of it.
It is okay, princess. I will do
Okay.
whatever I can to help you pursue your goals. It's not like he hit me hard.
Somebody immediately looks at Bart.
Right, but I just wanted to be sure that you knew that it was not how things really are.
Of course. Not an issue.
Good. Right, so we should prepare for tomorrow because I am pretty much out of spells.
So, everyone retires to their rooms, bunking up with everyone's buddies, and then going to sleepies. Morning rolls around. Jerome is already gone. Everyone else, how would you like to attend the event?
I would say they're probably not going to want weapons on site because it's like a boxing match. You don't want to be... People will have their blood up. No one's going to want weapons involved, so...
Correct.
We still don't have anywhere, like, as a base of operations, so where the fuck are we going to leave our gear?
We have a bag of holding.
Oh, yeah, in that case, just...
Do you think they have a locker system?
Gabriel has a bag of holding.
Ah,
I suppose it actually doesn't really matter for me because my weapons just sort of...
Right.
Put it in a bag of holding, it disappears, reappears.
Katarine very reluctantly hands over the Dominator.
Ah, yes. I forgot about that.
Right?
You've been lugging around an Egyptian artifact this entire fucking time.
Exactly. That's taller than she is.
I am going to place my one rickety spear that I can barely use in either case.
Zombie is his own weapon.
I can insult you to death. I can't. I'm not a bard. I can insult you, then kill you.
So, as all of you are heading over to the colossal arena of tribulation, by the time you all are leaving and heading over there, you seem to be walking with the crowd. Venturing over there and enjoying the atmosphere with them. The crowds are already very plentiful right now, and you see that there's a tremendous amount of street vendors, even compared to the average day here. These vendors are selling all different variations of food, ethnic and, well, regional. Wandering through all of this, Gavriel will spend about 2 of his own personal gold just buying a bunch of random food, offering each of you some to try as well. They have a lot of really interesting things. One in particular that is a bit strange but delicious is this fried squid on a stick.
Interesting.
They give you a small little cup of tartar sauce to enjoy alongside it. So, as you're all walking, Gabriel will bring up one topic of conversation. Hey guys, what was with all those oozes last night? How did that guy have them? What do you think was going on there?
I don't know. It seemed like... Now, I don't know a lot about oozes, but what I do know is those ones were seemingly slaved to the main ooze. Speaking of, is my cat still with us?
Yeah, it's still Cat.
Cool. And the cat just like wandering around with me, like basically spending the day wrapped up in my cloak on my shoulder. And it would seem that when the Master Ooze was defeated, the others were lessened somehow.
But also
What the Ooze was doing there in the first place, I have no idea.
Very strange. Very strange.
And the fact that my magic was not working on him like it should. That's concerning.
What do you mean?
There are certain things that I can feel the reaction to as the magic starts to work. And I can tell when people are more difficult to control or more difficult to influence. And at everything, he was more difficult.
Interesting.
It was something that I was going to ask if you had any experience with because of your training.
Oh, yes. There is practices to try to resist magic and to train how to notice when it is being used, fortify yourself against it, and stuff such as that, but it takes incredible talent or decades to train.
And he did not look quite that old.
No.
So this is a talent. And the fact that he was able to do as much as he did to Barkov as quickly as he did, that's also concerning.
Well, I mean, that's just being a well-trained soldier.
I believe he was also tethered to the slime. I noticed almost like an umbilical cord attaching the two.
Interesting.
What? That's a image I'm not getting out of my head.
Tethered. That's
one word for it.
Right, but that was I did not see that. That is concerning. Do you think that it was that they had undue influence over him, or like what's going on with you, or
I think it was more concrete than that. I think certain. It looked more like it was, you know, those parasitic fungus that take control over an insect body and make it wander itself around.
mm-hmm.
More like that. It's not an influence. It looked like it was in control of him. But that ooze was clever, sentient. It wasn't just some mindless thing. Not completely, anyway.
Do you think the ooze was acting on its own, or do you think?
I'm still trying to work that one out. But
He said something about release, right?
When all the other ones were there, was that?
He said something along those lines, like release the ooze or something.
Release the hounds.
Ah,
So
maybe it was being used as some kind of guard dog? That seems a little excessive.
right. What were they guarding? Well, I guess we'll never know now.
If only someone hadn't burnt down the building.
Ah,
I wonder who did that.
But
everyone looks
also-
at Cat.
But also, it's not like any of you were doing anything against all the oozes either, so. If we had tried to take them out one by one, we would have been caught by the guards.
It would have just meant a different strategy.
I do not want to kill guards this early.
That is not where I was going to go.
Look, even I have a non-lethal solution to a problem. It's just less fun.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I can make them do a dance party, which is fun.
I don't know if I would have had the spells left for it, but depending on how many showed up, I could have modified their memory, but that's always a chance.
Well, now we'll never know.
Or we could always ask Jerome to listen for it. Or we could have those conversations around, you know? There are ways to listen.
Bardakava vendor walks up to you. Spotted dick, sir.
No, I already used that cream, thank you.
He just blinks at you, looking down at the spotted dick. Just,
Oh, that is food.
yes, sir.
Please, talk more about it. What is it?
It's spotted dick.
Insightful description. Thank you. I'm okay.
It is a pudding, by the
It's the
looks of
middle
it.
of the day. I do not wish a pudding.
A stacked, steamed pudding.
Personally, I prefer faggots and peas. It's a dish. I've eaten it.
No.
Yeah. Unfortunate
It's-
names.
Yeah.
Good old meatballs. But no, I am fine, thank you.
Like fucking turkey.
Gavriel will buy it. Ooh, I would love a spotted dick.
Just people holding in the
Just the
desire to make
giggles.
jokes.
Yeah.
You're all 12.
We are.
Hey, I'm the youngest one here. I have an excuse.
Fair. Everyone else is 12.
No, Somebody's just been staring at everyone, wondering when this, wondering what this conversation is going to lead to. Just quietly laughing to himself amongst all the innuendo foods.
Mhm.
Are we going in now, or?
Is it? But I'm gonna take a look around and see if I can find 3.
Well, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
noon yet. You guys are showing up early, right? Which is
Yeah.
like when it's opening and all that. Yeah. So it's not noon
Mhm.
yet. He's not out here.
Gotcha.
He's showing up halfway through the entire event. Probably because
Fashionably late.
he can. Yeah. Why would he give a fuck about showing up on time
Mhm.
like a casual? Anywho, as you all are wandering up to this Colosseum, you see the magnificent stature that it is. This incredibly large Colosseum takes up about 4 city blocks by itself. As you are looking at it, it is a beautiful constructed building that looks older than the rest of Spalding combined. The tiles of the outside ground and flooring look to be newly polished and painted, but ancient. The stonework put into place to actually create the Colosseum looks to be a foreign stone or one that is no longer crafted or created, and you can see the sparkling nature of magic all around them as you're all taking in this environment. You see the crowds are all currently trying to get into the event as quickly as they can. You also see that apparently the guards are checking everybody's tickets, and there's legal scalpers selling tickets to the event out here.
I'm not surprised that someone would try to find that way to make a quick buck.
I'm surprised it's legal.
All things are illegal with enough gold.
Fair. Well, we don't need to engage with scalpers now, do we? Nobody's planning on talking to them, right? Okay, good. Monkey, no.
Okay.
Monkey, you have a ticket.
Yeah, but I could get another one and sell it.
That is a speculative bubble that you are going to crash with. Don't get into this conversation with me. I know how to scalp. Physically and metaphorically.
Just hold on. That's a speculative bubble, monkey. Just
You're gonna buy it, and then you're gonna try and sell it for a higher price when people can buy it from the legal scalpers over there.
I didn't say anything about buying
Talented,
nothing.
also talented con artist.
do have a point there, monkey. Oh.
Why do you dangle this in front of me?
Why, Lord? Why?
Just ethical decisions.
Not even ethical. Monetary.
But it's also like, what happens if I get caught? Then we can't go in.
Yeah,
Like, there's...
yep. How
Yeah.
much are the tickets going for? That are being scalped?
The general admission tickets are going for about 600 gold.
Why couldn't you say like 10 gold and I'm like, bah.
No.
But then it wouldn't be true.
I'll be good. I'm gonna be good. I'll be good.
Okay, good, because Santi's going for it. No. Joking. I'm joking.
With your negative dex.
I never said I was gonna try and sneak it.
Just hand it over.
So as you're all walking up, you see that Gavriel's currently talking to somebody off on the side.
Gav,
Ah,
who are you talking to?
oh, this guy's trying to sell me a ticket to the exclusive event.
I'm gonna walk over.
Yeah.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum.
The person smiles at you. Hello, yes. If any of you fine out-of-towners missed your opportunity, I do have tickets for the exclusive VIP portion of the event.
I'm going to connect to his mind.
Yeah?
And I'm gonna say, really? And here I thought that was very exclusive.
It is, but luckily I managed to pick up a few more tickets before they all disappeared. Helps to have good friends. His surface thoughts are him reciting these lines.
You know, with such valuable tickets, that seems likely that somebody might try and scam somebody. That's not your prerogative, is it?
Oh, of course not, sirs. I would never do such a heinous thing. I run a legitimate business here.
Any variations to the surface thoughts, or is it still being recited?
He's more scanning through lines that he's practiced and rehearsed in response to different lines that you ask.
And all this is mental?
Yep. Well, no, the conversation's out loud, but his surface thoughts are his surface thoughts.
I'm going to insight.
Go for it.
For 9.
Kind of hard to read.
I was almost a 20.
There's one little turnover. Anyway, somebody's going to look. And how much are they going for currently?
Well, leading up to today, I've been able to sell them for about 2,000 gold apiece. However, today's special, I think I can do away with 3 of them for 5,000 gold.
Are the Joey, out of character, are they? Does he have the tickets on him currently? He's like waving
He is
them
not
about.
showing them, no.
And
I could just zone of truth him.
10-minute cast time.
Is it?
Just, yeah.
Or
Or 1 minute cast time, one or the other.
zone of truth, one action.
What? Oh, because it's always ritual casters who do that. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually they do it as a ritual, but you don't have to do it as a ritual. You can do it as a.
You actually prepared Zone of Truth. Holy shit.
I don't
my God, I have
prepare
more
shit,
spells.
I just have it.
Oh. Oh, that's one of the ones that you don't have to. That's an automatic spell for your class then.
yes. Anyway, guys.
Why is
I
roll
just-
20 broken?
I just realized how dangerous our group is in any social interaction.
Yes.
What do you think? We have like what 5? Like not 5. We have 2. We have 2 charisma casters I can tell you off. There's a
And an
fucking
enchantment wizard.
enchantment wizard with a noble background.
No, my good sir, I have to say, we might have only been in town a short time, but I have not heard of this exclusive VIP section before. Would you please tell me more about it?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, you see, the general admission is for people who are more ruffian in nature. You know, the tough and rumble type of viewers. But all of you seem more refined than that. Like, you have more class. This is meant for you all, where you get to sit closer towards the actual arena, guarded by the highest security with all of the special accommodations of food, drinks, and wine that you can possibly have, surrounded by other people of your status.
What's my read on this guy? Is he trying
Insight
to grift
check.
us?
You'll be the second person engaging with that.
Good thing I have a +5. There it
And a
is.
nat 20.
Let's go. You're fairly certain this guy is a con artist. He marked you all as out-of-towners and immediately wants to sell you the greatest thing you could ever get.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna lean in real close. I've been scamming pieces of shit like you since I was a child. Pick a different mark. Fuck off.
He'll give a smile. How about you, big guy? Still interested? Ooh, I mean, it sounds very...
No.
Oh, okay.
And it's just
Um,
like that icy stare of like, don't even try.
Samdi is going to look at the rest of them.
Yeah.
Of what race is this guy?
Human.
Human. Hmm.
No, you may
I'm,
not.
go- I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look at Bard. Why do you say stuff like this out loud? I'm going to look. Are there guards nearby?
Oh, there's guards all over the place. There's guards on top of the towers watching. There's guards walking through the crowds. They seem to have their eyes positioned specifically on people's pockets, looking for any odd interactions. And Monkey, because you are attempting to do that inside of this area, you take note that all of the guards are watching everybody's pockets. And this guy seems to have a spotter.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look over towards Cat, and I'm going to say, mentally. I say out loud, mentally.
Mentally.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say to her mentally. You think we can get anything from turning this guy in? Or do you think he's actually sponsored by somebody? Because this kind of does seem like the city where scalpers are. Well, scalpers are legal, and this guy is a faux scalper.
I'm gonna take a quick look over him
Yeah.
and kind of see if I can read, like, does this guy look like he has official backing, like based on what his clothes look like and that sort of thing, or does he look like he's...
I mean, he looks well put together. He definitely has nicer attire than the commoners would in this area. He definitely has deep pockets because of that. Rather, if he's real or not, I mean, to be determined.
Right.
Now that all of you are hesitating, he's just walking away.
I don't think that we necessarily want to create a view of ourselves as goody two shoes, though, Sandy.
Oh, I can make it. I can make it his decision.
Make it his decision.
Samti's going to look over. I'm going to subtly cast a dominate person.
Okay. You cast that on him. What's the saving
Yep.
throw?
It should say here
Wisdom,
somewhere.
correct?
Yes, wisdom save.
Oh, he
DC
failed.
20.
He failed.
And the first thing I say to him is, you are just so disappointed in yourself, you're going to turn yourself in.
He walks right over to one of the guards. Hello, sir. I've been peeping on people in their windows recently. Not even quite sure why I'm doing it. I just think it's thrilling. Guard doesn't know what to do, and then the guy just, like, blinks at himself. eyes going wide, and the guard just escorts him away.
I did not know that you could do that, Zombie. That's impressive.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to do, honestly. I just kind of like messing with people, and most of the spells I use aren't even that important in battle. I can hold somebody.
Society in itself is a battle, Zombie.
Oh, don't get philosophical with me. I can literally tune you out.
I know you can.
Character name,
I-
Phil.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Phil. Oh, he's actually Irish. He's
Philosophical.
For
Love it.
once, we are on the same page.
I don't
And
like
that is
that.
that is when Joey hates us the most.
It's like you two are the only like buffers for each other, and then getting you on the same page is just not.
2023, baby.
Ah no!
Oh no, this is not the year.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I'll go back.
Okay, yeah, we're cutting this out.
Now that
Nope.
that has all happened, you all end up going into the Colosseum in order to participate inside of this event. And I think this is going to be a reasonable place for us to go on break, everybody. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back, everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. We're just gonna jump back in there. Walking into this incredibly large coliseum, you all look around at the beautiful display of artisan work that went into constructing this incredible monolith and historical location here inside of Spalding. As you get through these massive archways, you start to see sculptures and statues of every single warrior or gladiator that has come through and died or has won inside of these events. You see there are people hyping up old stories, bards telling the stories themselves of these wonderful events and fighters, as well as performers and musicians creating a very loud atmosphere, as well as all of the civilians wandering around having a glorious time right now. The crowds are packed to the brim, and the one thing you all take note of is the amount of guards inside of this building. There has to be at least 30 guards every couple of 100 feet. You also notice that they have these balconies that have birds perched on top of them, and the birds all seem to be sentiently watching down across the crowd as you are moving through here. As you all pass through, whatever magical items on your persons seem to become non-magical.
Ooh. Interesting.
And I can't see the new map.
What happens to my shield?
Oh dear lord.
Your shield?
My sentient demon shield.
It still maintains shield status, it just is not magically beneficial at all.
Okay, so he's kind of like locked in for a bit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Wait. Sorry, we all our magic stuff is useless now?
Yeah, once you step inside.
Cool. Okay.
I'm just gonna do a quick test then. And try.
Were there any warning signs as we were coming in about magic, the use of magic, weapons, anything like that posted?
No signs on the outside, no. But go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I don't know, maybe I've got Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. As we're walking past something, I'll see I don't know, some a loose nail on a wall or something, and I'm just gonna scratch my arm with it. Just to create a light cut. And I'm gonna try and use a point of lay on hands to heal it.
Alright, it works. And as that goes off, you also notice that there is a sparkling glow around you as several guards look in your direction.
Huh. Interesting. Cut myself, was just healing it. My bad.
Roll me a deception check. Yes, you're telling the truth, but that was not your motivation.
Yeah, baby.
The guards nod. No magic casting while inside of the event for anybody.
Noted. Won't happen again. Well, there goes any of those plans. Looks like we'll have to rely on our natural talents.
Samti psychically says to Bart, "You think this will set it off?"
You're not sparkling right now.
That answers my question.
This should be interesting.
Now you have to rely on natural talents. I think the only person in this party who has ability checks that aren't magical in nature are Mookie.
Hey, I have a +8 in persuasion and intimidation.
Okay, there's two people.
Natural feat of my own power.
I have a
I don't-
+7
Okay.
persuasion, so
So you guys
All
aren't
of-
useless.
Yeah, all my skills are completely natural. Even the bad ones.
I have no negatives. That is my claim to fame.
Alrighty then, everybody. Yeah?
Yeah.
You see the event is already incredibly lively, and you have multiple options of things to do right now, people. You can either listen to some of the stories of the champions and gladiators of old. You can turn around and start looking for the betting chambers and trying to get into all of that. The show's yours, whatever you would like to do.
Yeah, when are you supposed to be meeting up with 3?
At noon.
Okay. Bart will like pluck the cat off from his shoulder and look at its eyes. You got a bit of time.
Meow.
Cat clock, motherfucker.
That's a good question. So I would have brought Misha as a spider. Is he glowing?
Misha is a summoned animal, correct?
Mm-hmm. He's my familiar.
Oh, then he would be glowing. Yeah, he's made out of magical origin.
So I have him up a sleeve.
All right. So, you have him up your sleeve. Everybody, I asked you before, what would you like to do?
I have no interest in looking at people who got a participation trophy for getting their head cut off, so let's try and find the bookies. Get an idea of who's actually fighting today.
I'd like that idea.
Same.
And we can also see who's betting for what and how much.
Alrighty then.
Do you think it's worth us trying to draw some attention to ourselves with a large bet?
It might be a good idea.
Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I want to keep an ear out. I'm gonna tap Sandy on the shoulder and get him in on this plan. Because I can keep an ear out with my ears, he can keep an ear out with his mind. I'm gonna listen out for anyone talking about any, like, tip-offs or surreptitious planning for the event. Because something like this, someone has got to have tried match fixing it or some kind of insider information. And I know a lot of that's probably going to be like people saying their brother's cousin's wife is on the guy's like massage team and has some insider info. I want like to try and filter as much of that out as possible and see if I can find anything from people who are like obviously shady.
All right. So, I would like a perception check from the two of you. If you would abide, Samdi.
I choose to be a dick. No, I don't.
Use my game advantage on this.
Go for it.
I choose to use my recap advantage on this.
Perfect.
Did it roll 1 or 2? No, didn't matter.
Damn.
Alrighty, 23. And Bart, you did not have advantage, did you? Or were you using your advantage?
Yeah, I used my game advantage.
Okay. So, the two of you keeping an ear out. There is a lot of people talking about their cousins, aunts, best friend, ex-girlfriend, whatever you want to fucking listen to. However, while you're listening to all of that, there does seem to be a few whispers about certain people that know the direction the fight's going to go. Apparently, there's some people who believe that the Valen representative who's going to be here has been injured recently. And because of that, they're not going to be able to be successful.
Good to know. What are the bookies saying? What are the odds? Who's like? Have we got a fight card? Have we got some odds on them?
Yes.
Can we do some maths?
The odds are dead even between the two of them, as the bookies always make their claims to be at an event such as this. Now, as for who is actually fighting, let me get that information. I probably should have had that up, shouldn't I?
It happens.
That was one of the plans, wasn't it?
Yeah, but with this group, I don't fucking know what you're doing from 1 minute to the next.
That's fair. Listen, that's an
The fun
accurate
part is,
assessment.
neither do we.
Alrighty. So, it is Vesper Valen versus Clint Westboro.
The whole event, one fight.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
This is supposed to be like the Floyd Mayweather style fucking huge event. So, apparently these two are the two fighters. Vesper is given a slight lead in most people's opinions, but the bookies down in the general admission area, they stick to 50-50 odds, no matter what, in order to make sure that there's fairness within the systems in place. Now, of course, if you want to do some better odds betting, you'd have to get into the richer places. But the fact that their Valen seems to hold and carry a tremendous amount of weight in many of the bettors' opinions, they seem to be favoring him very greatly because of that. Or sorry, Vesper's not him, her. Whereas Clint, on the other hand, Clint is given very small odds by comparison. Very small representation within the commoners' favor. Not a lot of people seem to honestly believe that Clint is going to be capable of winning, but there are a handful of people who take note that Clint, back on their home continent, was a tremendous combatant, amazing acrobat, and very difficult to keep up with for many individuals.
And it was the Vesper Valen that's rumored to have taken up a last-minute injury.
Yes. Now,
Well, just standing by the bookies for a bit, like, what seems to be the average bet going on? Like, what would be considered outlandish?
right now, in these areas, the average bet seems to be between 25 and 50 gold.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to one of the bookies and sir, do you have a maximum bet limit? What will your line of credit extend to?
Our maximum limit down here is 120 gold.
Okay. How do I get to the higher ups?
You need an admission ticket from it, but those sold out, well, months ago.
Good to know. Just 1 to 2 odds, like double your money back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever you bet, you get 50% more of if you win. The house keeps 50%.
Fair.
No, it isn't. But
I mean, they make a shitload of money that way.
yeah, they do.
Okay.
Samdi, after he asked that question, you read somebody's surface thoughts nearby. Apparently, they're thinking of inviting him, if he has deep pockets, to a special betting ring.
I'm going to quickly pop over to Bart. Mentally, not physically.
Hi, buddy.
No. Somebody is interested in if you have deeper pockets. He might invite you to a higher up betting pool.
Good to know. I only got into town recently. This is too amateur for my level. I'm sorry. I don't want to waste your time. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks for calling us amateurs. All right.
Like
That's
making
tactical
making a
rudeness.
bit of a show of it. Like, hey, look at me and my shiny nipple armor. And
Give me a performance check, nipple armor.
Hey, look at look at my nipply armor.
They sculpted them based off of my body.
10 years ago they did.
Right.
Anatomically correct nipples, thank you.
He looks down at the absolutely obnoxiously overlarge codpiece.
It's spacious, let's just call it that.
Hey, look, I need a coin purse somewhere.
We can all dream.
1,000 platinum on me. You think I don't need space for that all over?
Joey, I do have a quick question really fast.
Yeah. Is it about his codpiece?
No,
She said that with such.
no, but the money purse and the codpiece made me think, what about bags of holding?
Yeah, they're not active right now. It doesn't dispel everything from the bag, it just makes it so it's a mundane bag.
Okay.
So you don't have access to the bag's contents unless you use it like an actual bag from
Correct.
now on until you get out of here.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Because once that would have happened, because Gabrielle is carrying all Cat's money, we would have made the necessary adjustments for that.
Gotcha. So he has to walk outside, get your bag out of the bag, and then come back in.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because otherwise she'd be over her carrying weight based on her cash alone.
Yep, and Gavriel will have to walk around with a very large sack of gold.
Resisting urge.
I was like, no! It. Man. That person who's thinking about joining is just not gonna...
It'll be
What are you talking
interesting, to
about?
say
He's
the
gonna love
least.
this.
People who want to join this game are one of two types of people. I hope
Naive
they're the
or
first.
delinquent.
Awfully brave.
Yes. So, Katarine
Mhm.
and Monkey, what are the two of you doing while the two of them are trying to place their bets and scalp out the area? Keep in mind, only two people can engage with an ability check at a time.
Gotcha. Are we, like, I know that we're in the general admission area, but do we have, line of sight or any way to see, like, people going into the more exclusive areas, or...
Roll me a perception check. Let's see.
Perception.
Nat 20s, 21.
Let's go. You don't see where the entry is into it, but you see the opposite side of the Colosseum, the lowest ring, which has this incredibly large lip that would stop people from up high dropping down low, seems to have a lot of very fat people there.
That's wealth, yeah.
Yep. You don't know how to get over there, but you see where it's at least. And you also
Gotcha.
see that they have their own waiters walking around with nice little hors d'oeuvres that they're being fed, and wines by the, gallons being poured.
Mm-hmm. um, I'm just gonna watch that for a little while to see if there's any social dynamics I can pick up on, like people, you know what I mean? Like, if there's like there's like a rivalry that looks like it's forming, or like who's with who kind of thing. Kind of get a read on what the room is gonna feel like before I get in there.
Insight check, please.
I'm going to use my lore advantage. For 18!
Not bad. Well, there seems to be a lot of camaraderie between the individuals over there. There's quite a few out-of-towners that seem to show up for an event like this. A lot of nobility with their own personal guards. You don't sense any, like, hostility towards any individuals over there. Just a lot of competitive, greedy fucks.
So, like, underlying competition, not overt.
Yes. Noble competition, as they would call it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So. Monkey, what about you?
Yeah, Glenn and I were just checking out to see if we could find any of the owners or learn more about the event itself, and trying to find different sponsors that may not have someone here today, but that had a piece in the fight until this final.
Okay. Roll me persuasion to find out any information pertaining to all of them.
Wish Glenn was here.
For his charisma? Okay.
Well,
For emotional support.
yep.
Oh, yeah, that's your emotional support, dead boy.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, dead
What
boy.
What happened to my...
Kind of sounds like you're
Alright.
saying that boy, and I'm like, you weren't this weird.
I lost my character sheet.
Well, how the
Okay.
fuck did you lose it?
Because it was no longer on my... Oops. It was no longer on my screen. Okay. And persuasion, I will actually use my game advantage because why not?
$15. Talking to people, it turns out that anybody whose pockets would be deep enough to be a sponsor would be in the private sector of this event. None of them are in the general admission area, nor would any of them ever be seen in the general admission area hanging out with all of the poor peasants.
Would we have picked up any names, though, of sponsors?
Yes.
And you don't have to give me a name right now, but...
Majority of the names would be Spaulding.
Okay.
Like,
Who would've
various different Spauldings can sponsor an individual. But pretty much anybody who has a house, like an actual estate inside of this city, and has deep pockets could do it. You will find out as well that apparently in order to nominate somebody, they need to have lore surrounding them written about by a bard, as well as a 10,000 gold minimum application fee per person. So now you know the requirements.
Beefy.
Oh yeah, they're greedy fucks here, man.
Yeah, it feels right at home.
Yep. So, After you've you've inquired about your betting. What was your performance check from earlier, Christian?
That was a 23.
Okay. As you kind of walk away from that area, a little scoffed, another person approaches over towards you, and this human smiles. Hello, sir. Pleasure. Couldn't help but to hear your unfortunate happenstance. I assume you didn't get into the private sector?
Purely through a matter of misfortune. We only rolled into town a week ago, so...
Of course. That is very unfortunate. But I would, maybe know a little bit about a more private betting ring?
You don't say. Please, sir, let us walk and talk more of such a proposal.
Perfect. So.
Can I just slowly tail behind him, reading his thoughts?
Sure. His surface thoughts are what he's talking about. So, he walks with you over towards one of the vending stations that has a permanent vending spot here. Not just one of those stalls set up. It's actually a little shop here inside of the Coliseum. You see, some of us aren't really appreciated with the old money, so they don't really let us play with them. But we have our own ways of playing, as you can probably assume. He gives you a little smirk.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The crypto bro new money betting pool.
Pretty much.
I am going to murder them by the time I'm out of here.
When you go over towards the vending stall, he walks straight into the back and opens up a door that brings you down a lower level that's like a half level. It has this slit in the wall that allows you to see out towards the Coliseum, but there seems to be a lot of individuals that are very finely dressed who all give off the vibe of having way too much money to know what to do with.
Oh, look, they are crypto bros. Until it all becomes speculative.
Now,
Can I still feel Sandy in my head?
Samdi, you were not given access to going down there, unless Bart would ask. But yes, you feel him there.
I think I've found a room full of marks. If we wanted to try and fleece people out of their money, this is the place.
Well, do you have any idea where they're from? This does not look like official Spalding material.
No, this is backroom high-stakes betting for people that weren't given invites to the VIP section. New money. Low on common sense. But we'll see. They might be very, very good at acting, and I might be able to get taken for might be about to get taken for a fool. But we'll see.
Okay. Good luck.
So
As I'm just buying stuff from the stall.
So, my friend, seems like I have found myself in the right place.
Of
Let's
course.
let's talk stakes and rules.
Well, our rules are coinciding with their rules, of course. For me personally, I like to bet on not just victor, but knockout and round. We set up some preliminary bets for each of these categories, and depending on who wins, walks away with however much money needs to happen. Of course, the house holds everything for us. He points over to the back where you see that there's this very large orcish woman standing there.
Uh-oh.
Can I sense it?
Well, you hear the ting. No, just
Bart, no.
Bart, stay focused.
We have it. We have a target.
You have a target.
That's fine. That's fine. It all looks fairly upstanding as far as legitimate gambling rings go.
I mean, as far as underground shady gambling rings go, this looks like an underground shady gambling ring.
Cool.
The only saving grace is if they try to con you, they're all criminals, and you know what to do with people like that.
I do.
Yeah.
He says
You
with
call
an
Somdi.
empty scabbard. That's fine. Excellent. Well, in that case, let's start it out nice and straightforward. 100 platinum on Westboro.
Just on victory?
Westboro for victory.
100 platinum. Alright, be sure that you're typing this out. What round would you like to place your bidding on?
Ah, so the plan is we bet for what round he manages to win in?
As well, yes. We give layers to the betting so that even if you're not successful, you at least win something. You're betting on what round it ends in.
How many rounds did we? I take it we found out like the basics of how the thing works.
Oh yeah, it goes until one person is knocked out or killed.
Ah, cool. Rounds being like a set amount of time, or just until there's a
45 seconds each.
okay.
Or until there's necessity for it to stop. But usually when that happens, it's over.
Yeah. I think Westboro takes it in round 3.
Westboro round 3. And is that going to be through knockouts or through kill? Or forfeit?
From my listenings in the earlier part where we were looking for like insider information, did I manage to get a sense of whether Westboro is the kind of person to go for a mercy and just try and incapacitate, or is he going to go for the kill?
Everybody was hyping up how ruthless both of them are, but that's also the style of events.
Like kill.
For the kill. Perfect. Alrighty. So let's set you up. You said you have 100 platinum, correct?
Indeed.
Let's go 300, 300, 400. You get 300 placed on third round, 300 placed on kill, and 400 placed on Westboro. Fair?
Good to me.
Unless you want to change your numbers around at all.
No, that seems like a good split.
Clarice, please take this man's money. The orcish woman walks over to you. Hey.
Inside Barkov's head.
Hey, cutie.
Well, hello there.
Larry's.
She holds her hand out for the monies.
He deposits his weighty sack into her hand.
Alright, Bart. No.
Nice.
Shut the fuck up.
God
Sorry,
damn it.
he empties his weighty sack into her hand.
Be sure to type out specifically what your bet was, because we need to find out if you make money or not.
Cool.
Alrighty. Well, when you look over at the board they have in the back, if you win the bet on who wins, you get 25% of what you put up. So you put up 40 on that, correct?
Yeah.
So you would win 25% of 40 back, which would be 50. So not bad. Make sure you deduct all of this gold so we know what your winnings are just straight up. It makes math so much easier. You also find that if you win the round, you get an extra 25% of what you put up, which was 30 for you. So that leaves a big weight in that one. Or no, not round. If you win the form of victory, that's another 25%. If you win the round, that's 60%.
Cool.
So each one of these is an opportunity to win and not lose that much. But also, if you won the round, then you make bank by comparison.
So that's
And is there a
25.
multiplier for winning for getting it right by all three?
2x automatic.
Nice.
If you win all three, you don't get any of your other winnings. You just get 2x of whatever you put in. But the
Nice.
probability of getting all of that right is very low, you know?
Well,
Welcome to gambling.
So I do have a question though. You say you get 25% back. Is that 25% on top of what you bet?
Yes, 1.25%.
Okay.
Times.
Because I was like,
No. They make their money based off of people who lose, not based off of every single bet.
yeah.
And
So it was 25% return as well on the winner, or 50% return?
it's 50% on winner, 50% on way of winning, way of victory, and it is 60% on round.
Cool. I didn't even have to break into my platinum. I just had 1,000 gold.
Perfect. And she will take your monies. Now, up top, Monkey, was there anything else you would like to do?
Nope, we're just taking in the sights and getting ready for the fight because we're kind of excited about watching it.
All right, Katarine?
I'm just, I don't know. If Monkey would have said that he's looking to understand who the sponsors are, like she would offer to try and get that information while she's in the more exclusive side.
Perfect.
All right, which you're not over there yet. You have to wait until noon.
Mhm.
So, did you
Right.
all want to meet up before noon?
I'm fine with that.
Are we meeting up for a nooner?
Smells like a plan. Well, actually, no. I'm going to stick around with it. Does it give the impression that this is like a place for them to hang out while the fight's going on? Like, do they have a bar set up with?
Yeah, they have a bar. They have a few accommodations. Nowhere near as nice as the other area, but, you know. They highly encourage you to drink, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Trying to think if there is anything that like Cat can do right now.
That is completely up to y'all.
I don't know.
I mean, okay, I'll set up some minor betting on. What's his name again? Eskel? No, I'm thinking of a different thing.
Vesper?
Vesper? No. What's the other one?
Clint?
Flint?
Clint
Clint.
Westboro.
Yes, I'll set up a. I'll just set up 100 gold bet on Westboro.
Alrighty. And if you win, you get 150 gold total. Nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
And that's about all I've done here.
Alrighty. Well then, couple of hours go by, and Katarine, you are reminded of your meeting outside.
Mm-hmm.
You head out there.
Yep.
You find your totally not a Spalding friend.
Right?
Smiles at you. Hello, Katarine. It is marvelous to see you again. How are you?
Doing very well. It's good to see you also.
So, I heard we have a little bit of information to be trading. Let's get you set up inside of the, well-documented area, shall we?
That sounds like a plan to me.
And he'll take your arm and escort you inside, wandering with you over towards this little side door that you didn't notice before, but has no security or anybody standing by it. As he gets over to it, he places a ticket in his hand up against the door, and you watch as the door shimmers slightly and opens up automatically.
No, this is more like it, and she'll do the same with her ticket.
Oh, you don't have a ticket for this
Oh.
side. You're
that's
just his
plus
plus
one,
one.
yeah. Gotcha.
That's fine. You're a plus one.
Mm-hmm. And she'll go through as well.
He wanders inside with you, and once you're in, you get to see the beautiful area around you. This absolutely gorgeous little gray and white pillared, soft, relaxing location. There's the smell of lavender wafting through the air, these nice vines wrapping around many of the different pillars that they have out here, and the beauty of this magical little, comfort and point of relaxation for you. When you look around, there's quite a few Spaldings, and there's just as many other individuals here as well. Well, I hope you'll enjoy all of this. Usually it's a bit too stuffy for me.
It's gonna be. I think it is what you make of it, you know.
Now, he wanders with you over towards one of the tables and sits down. Tell me what you learned about my stalker, please.
Certainly. We realized that they are being sponsored by a lady friend of yours who is concerned about a change in character.
Ah.
So it seems that I do not wish to dig too deeply, but was there some sort of lover's quarrel where she would have had reason to have you watched?
I'm not quite sure. I've recently taken on to enjoying the single life, and not for, devious means, just to enjoy it. So maybe she's just upset. I'm not sure. I'll have a conversation with her, though. I think I know who you're talking about. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Now, as for the stalker, have you convinced them to back off at all?
My understanding of them was that they are a person of their word, and they gave the word that they would be investigating you. So, you have your lady friend call off the investigation, and I believe that they would do the same.
Very well. I suppose I can take care of this. No problem. Thank you, Katarina.
You're very welcome.
Now, about this event, have you heard anything about the would-be participants?
Would Bart and Samdi have shared their what they learned?
Great question.
Yeah, probably would have. If he was still around when we discovered it.
If we met up,
Mhm.
I would have definitely at least given her a psychic message, being like, "Hey, there's a private betting quarter.
Gotcha.
Bardakov's in there, probably trying to hit on an orc."
But also the injury situation. Would you have shared that as well?
Oh, obviously.
There is a rumor that the Valen may have been injured recently. Could be hampered because of it.
Yes, I heard a little bit about the injury. Huh.
Was it significant?
I believe, perhaps, it was.
I'm going to insight that.
Go for it.
I have no idea.
4, kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
Hasn't this been your general?
My insights have always been terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think I did detect thoughts? Like,
If I can't insight you, I'm going to know either way.
yeah.
But I... how do I put this? I'm actually not that curious about betting on either of them. To me, it makes no sense to bet against a Valen, of all people, even though it makes perfect sense given the injury, but one's a warrior and one's a, well, as far as I'm concerned, a war criminal.
So tell me.
Westboro. Have you not heard anything about him?
No, we are very new to the
Oh.
city, remember?
Well, he's very new to this continent. He came here from far away. Apparently, he was on the wrong side of a conflict and went into hiding in order to evade all of them. And since, well, here, the laws of the previous world do not carry over to you, he's a free man, but still a war criminal nonetheless, in my opinion.
It's intriguing. What does he said to have done?
He would use barbaric tactics in order to entice his enemies out towards him. So, you would, He would set fire to the back of campsites of the enemies and force them to push up towards a mountain, but then drop tar on top of them and light the tar on fire, making them stuck between burning and burning tar, giving them no opportunity of escape. Suppose it's a tactic, but it is a disgusting one.
So underhanded, you're saying?
Well, I'm saying straight up evil. I wouldn't want somebody like that on my side.
Katarine has a flashback to the burning tavern the night before. No, of course not. There's something about not being willing to meet someone in a fair combat.
I mean, a fair fight is a fair fight, but when you're going up against an army and you're doing wars, you should probably conduct yourself with a certain level of decency, right? Don't do unto others as you would not wish for them to do to you. I mean, could you imagine being covered with black tar and burned to death?
Hmm.
It's horrible.
If it were do unto others with that, the war would not exist.
I think there's a solid middle ground. Or at least there should be. There needs to be rules in place to make sure that people who maybe it's not their war, but they had no other opportunity but to participate, can at least die with dignity. Not die disgustingly.
I see what you're saying. That there needs to be some sort of balance. If it is to exist, then it needs to be done in a way that gives someone a chance to fight a good fight.
Something like that.
Hmm.
But anyways, I'd rather not bet on him, and especially not betting against a Valen of all people. I mean, Vespa? Whew. The woman's a legend.
I have met a Valen.
Really? Which one?
Never mind. Patsy was Spalding.
Yes.
But I'm assuming that I would have heard of some.
You've heard of them, but you haven't really met any yet.
I have heard a good amount of them. Just trying to understand the peoples here. But what of Vesper specifically?
Well, Vespa, she's a little different than many of the other Valens. You see, they choose people to join their culture and their community based off of their battle prowess, right?
Right.
The more powerful you are, the more likely you are to get recruited by them. Just going to
Right.
hoodwink us. She joined them because she heard that they were the strongest. And she needed to test herself. After fighting alongside them for a while, she discerned that she was not strong enough to win in a battle against many of them, but still liked to try. Now, interestingly enough about her, she's always the first one into every battle that happens. Every single battle that happens. She loves it. And she seems to enjoy the prospect of living as close to the edge of death as possible and coming out victorious. I mean,
So truly this is a fight between someone who enjoys the fight and someone who would do anything to not have a fair one.
believe so. But let's see what's stronger. The will of the righteous or the survival instinct of the wretched? Should be interesting nonetheless.
I would say so as well.
Well, she's being nominated for a respectable position within the Valens as well. In fact, the leaders of the Valens is here. He nods his head over towards the side where you see that there's this elderly looking woman sitting up front looking over at the balcony, and you see all manners of Spaldings are chewing her ear off, and she has a very clear look on her face of not giving a single fuck.
So she's the leader of the Valen.
Yes, she is.
Here to assess Vesper's fighting capabilities, you think?
Perhaps.
Hmm.
I mean, if you would like, I can make an introduction for you.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
He'll sit up out of his chair and wander over there.
And I will follow.
Excuse me, Vanessa. The old woman looks over. Hello. This is Katarine. She is not from these lands, and she seems to be mighty curious about the Valens and your inquiry here today. I figured I would make the introductions. She'll look up at you, reach down, take your hand, and look at your palm. Soft palms, callous fingertips. You're a mage.
That would be a correct assessment, yes.
Your posture is too proper. You were raised noble. Your eyes are piercing and sharp, so you know hardship.
There is value in hardship. It teaches you things softness cannot.
Of course. Hardship is what molds the earth. Come, sit down. She'll pat the seat right beside her.
And Catherine will sit.
You do take note that while you are seated there, there appears to be 4 very large men all around this area who have been seated very far away, who are now taking special interest in the 2 of you seated together. And then you see another woman that looks to be maybe 25 years Vanessa's younger, over on the side, currently eating a couple of finger foods and spitting out the more grotesque ones onto the ground.
Phenomenal.
So, what questions did you have for me?
I had heard, I am fairly new to these lands, and I had heard rumors about the Valen, and certainly they sound like a noble people. And I wanted to know just some of the ideals that you share. I had heard that Vesper, in particular, is tenacious and wanting more of a fair fight and fighting for values, and that is something that I am interested in general as well.
The Valen are fair folk. We are not noble in nature. We do not care for pleasantries, lies, deceit, diplomacy, anything such as that. We care about truth, we care about honor, and we care about treating others right and protecting those weaker than us. Excuse me, Vanessa, but we do have a few of us now that are a bit more of the noble persuasion. You look over, and by comparison of the rest of the Valens here, this individual is much skinnier, much smaller in stature, and is donned with a heavy set of very regal, very noble-looking armor. But his features and the way he carries himself definitely leads him to give off the same energy as the rest of the Valen folk that you can easily point out in this crowd. Hello, Miss Katarine. My name is Kadamas Cade. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. And to add that, yes, there are certain attributes that lies, deceit, those sorts of things, but it is still a weapon to wield.
Oh, Of
and you can shield quite a few people using this weapon. And it seems that Katamas, you are of the type to understand that.
Yes, I prefer to fight with my mind as much as my body as I can. But I understand very well the importance of both, which is why I am our diplomatic leader here.
Nerd.
One of the Valents in the back does say that out loud. And he just gives a courteous smile.
It seems that there is perhaps a new direction that the Valen are taking, and I must say that it is I've heard that you are also a people of tradition, so this is I wish you the very best at this transition and learning to use society itself as a weapon and a way to guard the less fortunate.
Of course. It's not just about defending them against the dangers of death, but defending them against the dangers of diplomacy. At least, that's what I am here to do. He smiles over at her, who Vanessa looks up at him and gives him a nod, agreeing with him, but not showing any real kindness towards him in that endeavor.
You know, Thomas, I think that it would be. Are you staying in town for long?
I'm here for this event as a favor to Vesper, and then I need to go handle a couple of things. I'm still Valen, so I'm still expected to call my blade to arms when I need to.
That is understandable. I hope that perhaps our paths will cross again, and hopefully soon.
It would be marvelous if it did. He'll pick up your hand and kiss the back of it.
She'll nod. And I do have a question though.
Yes.
So Kat would have spent time talking with Gray as much as she could have.
Mm-hmm.
Would she have mentioned? Do you think she would have mentioned Cad?
In passing, more of a individual who picked up a couple of missions alongside her.
Gotcha.
A little bit, not really a. Well, she definitely isn't the type of person who would share personal feelings towards individuals or anything such as that. More of factuals with you.
I do have to say that your name is familiar to me. I had met a Nikri. She also answers to Gray out in Casino.
Oh, my dearest friend Gray.
She did mention you.
Oh. Wonderful. I am a huge fan of hers. We went on a few missions together.
She did say that. She is quite a force to work alongside.
She is incredibly powerful. I was quite fond of learning how clerical work seems to go with her.
It does seem to suit her in a way.
It does. Well, if you come across her again before I do, make sure you tell her I say hello.
I absolutely would.
Vanessa, excuse me. I have to go, as you so graciously put it, kiss the proper asses.
Such is the work of dignitaries.
Such is the work. And he'll give a very, very large, very embellished bow before walking away. He belongs to a new generation. I don't understand it. But if it helps, it helps. That's all that matters.
And being willing to try.
His family is one of the more powerful ones within Valen itself.
That is interesting. I did not learn much about his family. I'd only heard certain stories about himself.
Well, his family founded all of Valen. I am his grandmother.
Well, it would please you to know that what I had heard was very positive.
And what I heard about you and your companions is a little concerning. She raises her eyebrow.
I could imagine so.
Capturing a noble and forcing him into a ball against his will, under the guise of protection.
It was not against his will.
It wasn't. That's not how it was described to me.
At the start.
We may have left him there for longer than was originally agreed upon, but we were helping to investigate the die-offs of certain fishing stocks for people who are more unfortunate around the what's the swamp?
The swamps.
The swamps. And we happened to pass through there on our way to town and decided that it was worth our investigation to go and see if we could help. So yes, we did leave it a little bit longer than what was originally agreed upon, but it was for his safety, and we knew that he would impede our ability to help these people.
The Spauldings are tiresome, exhausting, and admittedly very disgusting folk as a general rule of thumb. She's saying out loud without covering her voice at all within earshot of at least a dozen or so different Spauldings.
And Kat is trying very hard to not have any reaction, but at the same time, her not having a reaction to it, she's trying to signal to Vanessa that she agrees.
Okay. But they are necessities for a town such as this. A town that breeds progress needs a firm hand to control it. I'd be very careful about how you treat those hands, especially with the laws given to this place. Even if we don't agree with it, we will still force their will upon the region so that it is beneficial towards everybody still.
Those are certainly some wise words.
They're not supposed to be wise words, they're supposed to be a warning.
That is what I understood it to be.
Good.
And as just a clarifier on who I am, sometimes the firm hand of progress touches things it should not. And I think that there are certain voices that could gently guide it in a different direction, or pause it for a moment for the betterment of the people that that hand is trying to serve.
Well, be that as it may, at certain times be, make sure you do not rock too many boats. Understanding your land as you were a princess, as your manservant over there so graciously calls you all the time in public.
It is a habit that is difficult for him to break.
But over here we have no kings or queens or princesses. We have diplomacy, we have rulership, and we have elections. If they were not to be the leaders, they would not be elected as the leaders. Treat them with grace and respect. Or, if you know something that we do not, as the absolute authority enforce in these lands, you may tell me. And then we can speak to some other individuals about what to do about that. Are you aware of the precautions of this land, Catherine?
Which precautions are those?
I need to get one of my handouts. What's this?
Insert in. Sorry.
I'm trying to find out the. Do y'all see the handout for this territory, Balera? Aqua.
Let's see.
Is it Balera or Valera?
Balera.
No, ba.
Nope.
Then where's
No,
the
Bubba.
other handout? Oh, Jesus. Notable places. Nope. Original. Nope. Purple Sands. Nope. Huh.
Yeah, but insert this old woman trying to find a cue card.
Oh, I
Just
found
like
it. I found it.
Yeah, it's like,
To
It's
be or not- no.
Alona. It was in the handout for Alona.
gotcha, yeah.
So, Alona is the ruling governing body, the confederation of each of the communities, and they call it their home there. Each of these communities has their own districts within this confederation, and they all have their own representatives, including the folk that live here. Spaldings bring in a tremendous amount of money consistently. And they also have a safety precaution called the Threefold. Have you heard about them at all?
I have not.
Each representative of each of the communities out here has an agent secretly placed to work for them, who is constantly near them. This agent is to watch and listen, and if the moment happens where they step over a boundary outside of the greater interest of all of Balera, that agent will murder them, reveal themselves to the proper authorities, and become instantly exiled because of that. If there was something going wrong that you were aware of, and one of these agents was not aware of, my people would be responsible to overrule them. There is not an army or civilization on this continent that could hold up against me and my people. And as she says that, you look around the room and you take note of the younger version of her daughter standing at the edge, whose eyes are just locked directly on you. The four hulking large men who all have the exact same determined look, and there's no arrogance to them. There is absolution in their eyes. And then you look at the one person who has a smile right now, but still has that same look of will take care of business. Cade over on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know anything, you speak to me. And
I
if
would-
not, you treat them with respect.
I absolutely think that your direction here is worthwhile. And we are still new to town here. And if there is anything that I happen to learn, I will pass that information to you.
Good.
I do have a quick question for you.
Sure.
I forget what Vanessa's race is.
Half elf.
Half elf. Um,
Not gonna lie, when he said half, I was gonna say, oh god, it's a halfling.
um,
Be terrified of the wee folk.
and I just want to also clarify real quick too. My ability to mentally connect, it basically works the same as Somdi's, right? Would I have the feeling that it would show up, or would it be discreet?
Yours is an innate ability. It seems that they have practices in place in order to stop arcane magics or spellcast style magics from happening. Yours is
Gotcha.
more ornate, so.
I will send a gentle ping just to like let her know that I'm attempting to connect, not trying to force it.
Her eyes instantly snap over to you, and you feel a static in the room instantly, and the hairs on your arm stand, but then she allows you in.
If you know of our exploits, then you would have known of Casino. If you wish to know more about what happened there, I am willing to talk about what that was. I know that perhaps that could be a concern of someone who is committed to structure and legality. But I am willing to talk about what our motivations were and to give you more insight if that is what you are interested in.
Is she capable of replying to this?
Yes.
Okay. I am fully aware of what you did back in Casino, and that is why, even though they asked me to capture and arrest all of you, I refused. I instead wish to teach you about our customs instead.
So I understood correctly that it is an invitation to work together to uproot any, shall we say, unfortunate circumstances, but to do it in a way that the power on the continent would approve of.
If there is something wrong happening here, the threefold representative needs to be the first one in charge. If you don't figure out who they are, then I have to step in.
So the advice is to find this representative and bring them the evidence you believe.
She nods.
And I'm going to assume that part of the test is to find this representative.
The threefold are people who are trained generationally without a family, without a connection to anybody. If you can find who they are, then you could find quite a lot. As that last sentence is made, I fooled you 3 times. It was monkey. Gasp. As that sentence is finalized, one of the doors on the far side opens up, and you watch as a beautiful red-headed woman steps out with the same determination in her eyes that you see across many of the other eyes in this area. But she is donned with this very large, lavish-looking outfit that she looks very uncomfortable having to be wearing right now. The individual walks over and gives a bow to Vanessa. Vesper, how is your wrist? It will be fine. Good. You understand if Valen family member has not lost this title in 10 years, we're going to keep it going for 11. Let's hope so. Vesper stands up, looks at you, Katarine, and gives you a nod.
I will nod back, and I do have a question as well.
Yeah?
So I know it's been a minute of time in game, but I don't know if it's expired or not, but I do have a religious favor.
Okay. What religious favor are you going to ask your goddess? Religious favor doesn't expire, right? Unless you do something
Okay.
outside of your religion.
So I didn't know if it was like...
No. That shit
okay.
doesn't expire. You did a favor for your fucking goddess. Of course she's not going to be like, sorry, bro, it's been a week. Kind of forgot about it.
Gotcha. And as I nod, I will say, may Lyra give you strength. And I'm going to ask that whatever healing is needed to put her at, like, her 100%, that's what I'm asking for.
Wow. Fuck Bart's money. I love it.
Oh, sorry, what happened?
Katarine is calling in a religious favor for Vera to be healed. Or Vesper to be healed, yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
But
I have less of a
also,
reason to be angry, but still, fuck you.
but also, like, we're getting in with the fucking Valen. Like,
It's fine. It's fine.
I care about money and nothing much.
I know. But
It's a
Cat
thousand
cares
gold.
about shit.
I can live with it.
It's only
I
1,000
can.
gold. Something. Alrighty.
Tommy, did you bet?
Yes.
Oh shit.
If I see that holy bitch here, I am coming straight for you. I know what your god looks like.
You've seen her. Yeah.
So,
I have spoken to her.
Yep.
She's a bitch.
Vesper will nod. Thank you. But I've never needed the guidance of any god to win in a battle. She keeps stepping forward, but you do take note that she rotates her wrist a couple of times, noticing something different. Vanessa looks over at you. Oh. You're definitely not a priestess. Or a cleric of any kind. Which means you've gained her favor before. That is interfering, young lady.
The mind does what it wishes.
If I didn't have a sneaking suspicion that that injury was created intentionally, I would report you.
So let us just say that I am undoing a wrong.
A tiefling girl comes over and places her head on top of the old elderly woman's head. Ah, so you noticed that one too, huh, Grandma? Yes, I did. Now it should be an interesting fight. No way Vesper loses anything when she's at 100. She is quite remarkable.
I had heard a certain thing about her opponent that did make me suspect that perhaps this injury was interference on itself.
Let's hope that this is going to be an entertaining bout at the least. And The fight begins with a grand announcement. Everybody's eyes are attracted over towards the arena as they begin hyping up the two new gladiators entering in to the fray and the battle. Bartikov, because you have the largest amount invested in Clint, I would like you to roll their athletics, their acrobatics, and their special con check, getting to add their hit die, which is a d10 to it. So their acrobatics is a plus 14. Their athletics is a plus 8. And their con is a plus 2. Not bad. Definitely not bad.
There it is.
Ooh!
Really not bad. Clint's going to be
Uh,
pretty fucking good this run.
What was the last one? Sorry.
A hit die, which is a d10.
You can add to
The
one of them.
D20 plus D10 or just a D10?
Just a d10.
Yeah, you add the roll to one of the things that you
Yeah,
like to.
I remember.
So where are you putting that 8?
I'll put it in the last one. We'll have a 28, a 23, and a 30.
All right. So Clint, Acro.
I'm gonna go get a drink while we wait for this to play out. Bye.
You know, I'm going to jinx it by saying this, but it's like there's no way Vesper loses at 100%, and then just roided up Clint over here.
Okay. Now, Monkey. Because I want you to get to do something here, buddy.
Yep.
You're going to roll for Vesper.
Okay, give me just a moment.
Alrighty.
While he's doing that, do I have time to make a bet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, I am putting 200 platinum on Vesper.
Woo! One of y'all is going to be
200
very upset.
platinum.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, 200 platinum. Look
I
at the
have
money they're
that's-
throwing around.
That's a quarter of what I have.
Can you at least?
I'm richer than you.
But I've also been paying for a lot of shit.
And
That sounds
Mage.
like a problem.
Right. Santi's just here like, who fucked with my money?
Am I just rolling a d20 or am I adding something onto?
Yes,
each one?
let's start first with the acrobatics. Vesper has a plus 12 to acrobatics.
Okay.
And then for athletics, Vesper has a plus 14. And
Okay.
then for con check, Vesper has a plus 5. And for their hit die, it is a d12.
Yeah.
The athletics
Oh.
she has advantage on. Because
Oh,
barbarian.
I see how this is. This was a rigged game from the beginning, Joey.
No, she had an injury.
No, literally,
Yeah, she
it was
was-
a rigged game.
It was a rigged game. She was
Yep.
fucked. Like
Yeah, it was a rigged game, but Katarina unrigged it.
Salty because Bart had more money than her.
Cat, how dare you? We deal in rigged games.
All right.
I know.
That was
but
athletics.
Oh no, that would have been acro because that had 12.
Okay, that was acrobatics. Now athletics. Plus 14.
Alright.
Yeah,
Which one
but
has
she's-
advantage?
She's
This one's
rigging,
advantage, so roll twice on this one.
She's rigging the bigger game, Somdi, which is she's getting in good with the Valen.
To Samdi, the biggest game is money.
I believe I've stated myself very clearly.
Hey,
I have
first roll.
connections. I want money.
Sames.
Wow.
Samesies.
Wow. All right.
And then
Con check is
Con.
plus 5.
ooh.
Ooh.
Mm.
D12, please.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yep. So she lost all three, no matter where I put that.
No, she won. She won acro, I think.
Oh wait.
21 to 28. Athletics, she won.
Ah, athletics, yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I can put that. I can put that D12 on.
Yeah, you can put that 2 anywhere you want. Where do you want to put it?
Okay, so we'll put that 2 on the acro. That would be a 23,
Mm-hmm.
and then no, does that make sense?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. No matter where you put that 2, it's not gonna increase it above anything.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference of winning, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, she would have gotten 1 if she puts it on athletics. She would have won 1 and lost 2.
She already won athletics, 25 to 23.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I'm in. Yeah. So it doesn't matter where the other one goes.
Already. So.
Plays it in
Okay.
con, so she's at least a 10.
Okay. The match goes 4 rounds. And by way of knockout, Clint wins. So, Bart, you did win the proper person, not the proper status or the proper round. But you did win the proper person.
Lame. So I still lost money.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Samdi,
Like,
you got
6
money.
months.
Hey, you took the riskier bet with the greater payout. You know?
I got 150
Yeah.
after I lost 100, but still.
And Katarine just lost. At the
Yeah.
end of the bout, many individuals stand up applauding very loudly, and Vesper seems really pissed off that she did not win.
I bet she's got a concussion.
And Vanessa stands up and wordlessly walks out.
Dante does the fried chicken dance with bags of gold.
But now that all of that is over, Katarine,
Mm-hmm.
your sponsor E comes over to you. Curious folk, aren't they?
Curious, yes, but in a way that the city needs, I believe.
The way the entire continent needs. A firm hand is good for the society. I believe, at least.
It's just a question of whose. And I would rather be behind someone who is, more idealistic.
He
Rather than
nods.
manipulative.
Well, I have a couple of I have a couple of friends I have to meet up with and have a conversation with. It was a very fun time. You take care of yourself.
And you do as well. It was good to share in your company.
He smiles and walks away.
And Katarine is gonna take just a few moments. Like, it looks like she's just kind of like sad that she lost money, but what she's doing is memorizing the appearance of every single person in that room.
You have quite a few individuals who will stop to talk with you and have grand conversations with you. And Bart, I would like a perception check from you. Samdi, I would like a perception check from you. And Monkey, perception check from you.
Gonna use my game advantage this time.
What do we see?
What do I see with my crocodilian eyes?
Okay. Bart, you see one person whose payout is a small chest worth of platinum. Monkey, you see an individual who's getting escorted by a few large guards out of here to go take their money, and they seem ecstatic right now. And Samdi, reading the minds over the crowd, you see a very fat, spalding individual walking out with a little ticket that he keeps fanning himself with excitedly. And on the one side of the ticket, you see 35K.
While reading his surface thoughts,
I'll be able to get a new jacuzzi. And maybe I can pay to have a water elemental in there just to heat it up for me? Or would I need a fire elemental? Ah, fuck it. I'll buy both.
I'm gonna look over at him. And I'm gonna check the crowd. Who else is staring at him?
He was made a mark by nobody else in the crowd, it would appear.
Well, he's not long for this world.
Mm-hmm. And he's being escorted as well, right?
He is being escorted by multiple guards, yes.
Ooh. Oh, I have plans.
We know you do.
I'm gonna sort of trace a message over to Sandy in my head. Looks like my bet was a bust, but someone's walking out of here with a chest full of platinum that's not being guarded. What about on your end?
A Spalding-looking individual guarded holding a ticket with 100, was it 1,000 or 100K?
35.
35. I was thinking in hundreds. 35K on it, and he's thinking of buying a elemental. A jacuzzi elemental, if you believe me.
I entirely believe you. You say he's being guarded, though?
Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't accidentally drop the thing.
You want backup, or can you handle it on your own?
I have plans. I think you should follow Mr. Chest over there.
Good plan. Okay. Keep in touch if you need me to come back you up.
Believe me, I will yell at you.
Godspeed, my little crocodile friend.
He's gonna need it to catch up.
And yeah, I'll start tailing the guy with the chest full of platinum.
All right, I would like a stealth check from both of you if you're tailing people.
9.
And I'm just waiting until I get out of the arena itself.
Well, as you try moving through the crowd and keeping up with the individual, Samdi, you are blocked off by 2 guards who seem to notice and stand directly in front of you and just physically body block you from moving any further. Until the person is very far outside of your gaze. Artikov? Yes, Samdi?
If he is like going beyond my sight, I want to try something again.
Okay.
Is he outside of 60 feet?
By the point that you're stopped? Not yet. And he doesn't move that fast, so no. Keep in mind, when Bart tried to use any form of magic in here, it did glow brightly.
And I'm still within the fucking place.
Yep.
Do I see Bart anywhere?
No, he's at a different section of all of this
Yeah,
right
I
now.
thought so. Do I see anyone glowing walking out?
Nobody glowing, no.
Damn it, Bart. Why'd you have to be a trendsetter? Alright, trend stopper. I don't know. Wordage. I'm going to connect to his mind and keep that. And I'm going to walk away from the guys and just fuck off.
Yep. Bart, you make it outside following the individual, but then he seems to definitely take note that you're following him and goes over to a couple of the guards to alert them. What are you doing?
I will make a point of, like, I'm not going to divert my course when I see that, you know, he's gone off to talk with the guards. I'm just going to keep walking and make it seem as though I was walking in the same direction as him, and he's just being paranoid because he's got a chest full of illegal gold.
So by the time you walk past him, he's still eyes locked on you as you keep moving and moving and moving and moving. And he just sits there, waiting.
Yeah. And I'm just going to, like, tickle my cat and say,
Is that
I'm
what we're calling
sorry.
it nowadays?
You need to think about it for a second because I forgot he actually does have a cat.
yes, sorry, I shall tickle
Yeah.
my slime familiar in the form of a cat.
Is that what we're calling it?
Keep trying.
We're going to tickle my slime.
If the key word that is tickle. If you were just like, I am just going to hold my cat, like,
Is that what you're calling it?
Just Dr. Evil. Just
There is no right answer to this. You
We
know
have-
that.
I will awaken the familiar upon my shoulder and instruct it to keep an eye on him and, like, follow him.
the familiar.
Do I
will
have any
be-
kind of psychic connection to this thing or no?
When it's on your shoulder, yes, but not like over any distances. But it'll listen to you. It's terrified of you. You're its new master.
Good. I need. Oh, well, actually, I know that cat has. Yeah, never mind. We've lost this. The stealth check failed me on this one.
Yes, it did.
And Samdi failed as well. Good. Well, yeah. that's
His kind of
I've-
failed. He has stupid bullshit ability.
true. Yeah, I'll let it slide for now and just carry on.
Alrighty.
Yep.
So, Monkey, what were you doing about what you noticed?
I was just gonna tell. Well, they went and. Yeah, I guess Glenn and I are gonna try to follow.
Alrighty. Roll me a stealth
But-
check then, please.
Yep. From water behind. All right, where did my character sheet go again? $15.
Alrighty. You're following this individual who's being escorted, and you watch as they get over to the payout area, where they are handed a sizable chest, and 2 more guards keep following them. It's at the point that they head out of the northern gates that you end up having the foresight not to just follow them, but to go over towards the side of the Colosseum and watch the direction they're heading to see if you can see where they go.
Yep. Did I catch a name when he was picking up the his winnings?
No, they don't let
Okay.
people that close unless you're like in someone's personal entourage, and this individual does not seem to have an entourage.
Okay.
But the chest, I mean, if it's filled with gold, would have a few thousand gold in it. If it's filled with platinum, that'd be a lot of fucking gold.
Next question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go over so I could kind of watch where he's going, correct?
Yeah.
And
Like-
but he's outside and I'm inside watching, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Knowing
as
that you
soon-
couldn't get too close, you just get to the side and watch through one of the many openings in the Colosseum to watch where they're heading.
Perfect. In that case, I am going to cast Hunter's Mark on him, so I can follow him later.
As you put,
Inside the arena?
what ability checks? Oh no, that's the other one. My bad. So you do cast that while you're inside the arena.
Yeah, because he's outside,
Yes.
right?
But you're casting
And
a spell
I'll-
on the inside.
and I'll cast a spell on the inside, so I'll
Okay.
glow, but they're not going to know what I'm doing.
A couple of guards see you glowing and approach over. So what was that? You cast a spell. What was it?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but my stomach's kind of acting up, and I was getting some stomach cramps. So I was just trying to remove some poison. I think I had some squid earlier today on the stick, and the squid was good, but the little sauce that came with it just tasted a little too fishy.
Deception check, please.
All right, here we go.
And I think you still have a game inspiration since we are.
And
nearing
I
the
also
end.
deception. I get it advantage, I believe. Let me double check Let me find my.
So long as that doesn't come from an item, yeah.
Okay.
In an alternate universe. Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Yep, and it is at advantage. Okay,
Let's go.
there is. I'm not a charisma person, but let's go. Advantage, please.
Hey, 17's not bad. Let me roll insight real quick. The guards have a +1. Ooh. 16.
Nice.
With the +1?
With the +1, it's a 16. Yeah.
Hey, eked that one out.
Oh, my rolls are set to 2 GM. I apologize. I didn't realize that.
You asshole.
I mean, it's fine. You can see on the stream. So. How do I
Nice.
toggle that off? I don't want that. Oh, there it is. It's off now.
Yeah.
The guy shakes his head. Yeah, next time don't try the tartar sauce. It's absolute garbage. They let that shit sit out for too long, and it's made of mayo. It's not very good.
And my face just kind of like gets this.
Yeah,
You know how
and
when
the
yep.
guards just back away.
Okay, cool.
As you go back to the window to quote unquote vomit and stare at your target.
Yep. And
What level did you cast Hunter's Mark at?
it is at. Where's my? Sorry, I gotta pull up my sheet again. Oh no! Don't be sick.
Oh, sorry. Thought I muted.
Oh come on! My computer's lagging.
Or roll 20, you know.
Could be that too.
Why not both? Both is good.
There we go. And it is just level. Come on. There it is.
Is it a ratio or?
It's just it's a first level, so I have 1 hour.
Okay. You'll have 1 hour of knowing where they are in this general direction of where they are.
So I am going to grab my compatriots, if I can. Actually, you know what? Glenn and I are just going to start following now, and I'm So we're going to leave the Coliseum, and we're going to assume that someone with those pesky mental powers is going to communicate with us at that point. So we're going to start following, but we're going to be, we'll stay like a couple blocks behind since I can find him.
Perfect. It was at this point that nobody in the party reached out to Monkey or Glenn ever again, and they disappeared.
Oh, thank goodness.
But anyways, you follow the individual who's heading northwards out of here. Let me bring you back over to the Bolero. Oh, wrong map. Spalding map. There we go. They head northwards over towards a little dock that they can take a ferry over to the laborers district. For a laborer, that's a lot of money they just made. But then you follow them, and keeping a respectable difference, they make it over towards one of the Port Authority buildings, where you realize this individual is just going to work and appears to be someone in charge of one entire row of docks where they're bringing their money with them. So,
And they still have their bodyguard, I'm assuming, and all that.
yes.
Yep. So Glenn and I are just going to kind of watch from a hidey spot and keep our eyes. We're going to play Stakeout is what we're going to play.
Alrighty. In the Port Authority building, they do end up placing their gold somewhere inside. And you can watch until your spell expires, the individuals starting to go to work and checking on people and yelling at them about where they need to be right now.
All right. And has anyone checked in with us in the last hour?
I don't know. Anyone?
I would have spent a little bit of time kind of making contacts, kind of seeing if there's anything I could suss out as far as like maybe a party that's later in the evening or something like that. But within an hour, if she would have come down and messaged everyone to see where they were to meet up from the earring.
All right, perfect. So within that hour, you do get called for a meeting. Everybody?
Yeah, we're at Port Authority. It's about northwest of west by northwest of the Coliseum. You'll have to take a ferry over. Mark is here. He's got his stuff inside.
Somebody will earring back. Still tracking a 35,000 ticket holder, I think.
Yep. You can keep your mental connection on that individual.
Yep. And I'm just occasionally I'm just like paying attention to his mind, think if he sees anything interesting, so like to try and note or triangulate where he is.
Okay. Roll me an insight check. Or sorry, survival check. Survival check.
Oh, that's better. I have been fooled. How dare it?
You keep your connection on the individual. And they went somewhere that has competitive ponies, but that's all you know.
I am going to walk up to the nearest guardsman.
Yeah? Hello.
Hello, good sir. Do you know if there are any horse races or anything of that sort in town?
Oh, yes. We have horse races that happen outside Spalding Castle every couple of nights or so.
So would that be outside or outside the walls itself, or
Out the outer walls? Yes, within those limits.
is there one currently going on?
Shouldn't be, no. Not with today's events happening.
Do you know anything about pony races or competitive pony anything?
I know you always want to bet for the one with the thickest legs. It's not really about their size, it's more about the power of their legs.
Oh, it's that kind of pony stuff. Got it.
Yes.
Competitive pony fighting.
No, it's racing. But the thicker legs, they run faster.
Is that so?
Apparently.
Where would that be?
I just told you, it's the same. Are you
Oh,
looking to
so-
purchase a pony, sir?
No.
I don't understand what you're asking.
I don't understand either. I think I've drunk too much. And I'm going to fuck right off. Just leave him confused as well. And I'm going to start walking around the outside of Spalding Castle. Just...
Alrighty. So everybody's called together for a meeting by Cat. Where do you all wish to meet up?
Is there a public park?
I'm staying here just in case he leaves, so that Glenn and I can.
Mug him?
No, maybe we'll figure out where he lives or something.
You know, threaten his family.
Well,
No.
didn't he leave the gold
That leaves
there?
witnesses.
It is there, and he's working. Yeah. A little metagaming. Do you want me to go, Glenn and I, to go in by ourselves and see if anything bad happens?
Well, like, we can communicate through the earring, so we could be having this conversation.
Yeah.
So the other
we
three
might-
meet up at a park.
I think we might need some backup.
What are you?
Batman.
We gotta. What are you?
We are at the pier that's west by northwest. There's a big pier there, and we're at the Port Authority building just across. You'll have to take a ferry. If you head northwest out of the Colossal Arena, there's going to be a ferry to take across, and we're at the first pier on there, and there's a Port Authority building. It's got kind of like a turquoise rooftop. It's currently in between two 20-sided dice. One has a 7 on the top and one has a 2 on the top.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
All right. Is there any way that you could do some reconnaissance, see what's going on? What entrances, exits, that sort of thing?
Do we have no one in our party that's like good at that stuff? I just like
It's Glenn.
I'm waiting for you guys to come in
It's
and I'm like,
Glenn.
oh,
Glenn's the only one, but he ain't here, so.
well, I figured maybe we can.
Are you not good at stealthing?
I'm okay, but we can
Then
probably.
let me get there.
Actually, it might be better if we do it without. Oh fuck! Oops. Maybe it could be. Yeah, I would like to wait for Glenn to be here to start doing these rolls though.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
But it might be better for Glenn and I to do it alone now that I think about it. Really.
that's fine, but we can do that next week when
Yep,
Glenn's here.
Yep,
Mhm.
for sure.
So,
For sure.
I'm actually going to call the session here, guys, because I have to lay the fuck down finally. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, baby boy.